I need to fart.
Well, get it out now before this goes in the pod.
I'm fine. I don't, so ghost fart.
That's good.
For
Alright,
Halloween! Just fart and it goes woo!
There's the intro.
Hello and welcome to the 3 Takes of Stupidity podcast Halloween edition. I'm Alex Clinton, I'm joined by Chandler Monk and James Robbins. I think we watched something Halloweeny this week. I'm not here this week because my life's in upheaval, so I've let those two watch a scary movie and then chat about scary things together, like the economy and ghosts and that sound that your car engine makes when you have to turn the music up louder. That's also scary. Let's get into it.
I want another classic from Alex. That was good. I wonder what he said, because we don't know. He's not here. This is 2 Takes of Stupidity. Alex is going through some life changes at the moment. We won't tell you what, but life changes.
We'll wait for him to tell it. He might send us a recording of what he's doing / what he's watched, so if he has, let's put that in here.
Thanks, guys, for that fantastic handoff. This week, I've just started watching Game of Thrones for the first time, so that's an education for me. There's a lot of blood, guts, and Peter Dinklage, which is what everyone needs, really. We're in Peep Show season, but I haven't started rewatching that, to be honest. It's very much an autumnal show for me. But it's on the list. It's on the list. Have I watched anything else? No. There's a lot of serial killer stuff on Netflix I'm very excited to watch. There's a lot of documentaries on Channel 4 I have yet to watch. I won't name any, because I can't remember them. Is there anything else I have watched, rather than just naming things I want to watch? No. Back to you guys in the studio.
But if not, let's leave it vague so you can all speculate what's happening. Might come back as Alexis. Might come back dead. Who knows? And we're okay with all of them because we're not TERFs, you twats. Anyway.
Brilliant.
We're back with your kind of regularly scheduled programming with a Halloween series. Ooh, and also it's kind of Trilogy 13. Sort of, if you count our catch-up episodes as a series, it's definitely not a trilogy because it was a 2-parter. A brace of films, I don't know.
I think you're just clutching at straws here now. It's almost like we planned it for Trilogy 13 to be our Halloween trilogy, but not really. It's just coincidental.
In the filing, it's 13.
We'll see what I type when I upload the episode.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But we are doing Halloween. It is October. It is spooky season. Have you been getting spooky already, Chandler?
Not really. It's weird. I hate it when people call it spooky season. I don't know why. It's spooky season. This makes it sound like it's just been made up for capitalism purposes. Sound like you there.
No shit. Christmas? Check. Mother's Day, Father's Day, fucking all of them. This day, Halloween Day. It's all capitalism.
It is all capitalism. God, that's a concern.
And it's all become very, Halloween has become very American. I walked past a house the other day and it was full Halloween.
Yeah, next door, they've had Halloween decorations already up for a week by the time you guys will listen to this episode. So it's fair play to them. They get in the mood of the kid. They've got 2 young kids and they really love it. So fair play.
I'm not going to put anyone down. It's fun. And especially if you've got kids. But if you like it, there's not, as we've just said, no joy in my life. At least have some joy in your life.
The only weird thing about Halloween is it's the opposite. We tell kids to do the exact opposite on this day than to every other day. And I know this joke's been made a load of times. On every other day of the year, we say, don't go to random people's houses. Don't accept candy from strangers. Yet on Halloween, we're like, go on, kids. Go have fun. Go knock on random people's doors and ask for sweets.
Yeah. So I bet the nonces are rife out there on Halloween, I'm sure.
Jesus Christ. It's their version of the Purge. That was an awful joke. Why?
The Purge.
This is why neither of us are the funny ones in our podcast.
Purge
And
files.
it's annoying. It's annoying when our funny Alex is not here.
Yeah, we're just reaching. I can see the jokes on the bookshelf, but even I'm not tall enough to reach them.
But we should say here, like, we're releasing on a different day now. We've had a conversation, an actual production conversation, kind of argument over WhatsApp, where we've decided we're going to shift our release schedule, be a bit more flexible. So we're going to release our episodes now every week on a Tuesday, and if not, at least by the Wednesday.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like when we started this, we don't all work for the same company on the same projects, and that means we could all relatively had a fairly similar schedule that we could fit things in. And I'm also following that, also have a job now, so life is busy. And Chandler's a routine workaholic, so can fit everything into his life, and I think he just doesn't sleep. And Alex is going through life changes, as I said.
But anyway, let's move on from that. James, what have you been up to this week? What have you watched? Anything good?
What have I done? I have finished Peacemaker. The final episode's getting some heat. I think it was fine. It was good. It wasn't like... I think people expect big action things at the end of anything comic book. And it's not an action-heavy episode. It's very character-driven. And tying some things up, setting some things up for the following season. That, I think, it goes against what people think they... I think this is what people say they want often with such superhero things. They don't just want a big fight to end it all. They want some drama, and I think Peacemaker is, at its core, a really, really well-done, character-driven show. And I think the final episode did that. It had to be a setup for Season 3. You could say that's a shame, if you want. But, I'm fine and can't wait for Season 3. I think John Cena is immaculate in it. Really like him in it. And the rest of the cast as well. The guy that plays Vigilante in it is so funny.
You said that last time.
And because of Peacemaker, I watched Superman, the new Superman by James Gunn. Really good. Superman, like they made Clark Kent an actual character, an actual person. Normally he's so dull, and then he's Superman. And then Superman himself has, I think, become a little dull. And I also think people expect Superman to have like a no-kill. He's not like that at all.
He's not Batman.
He's not Batman. I don't think he kills anyone in it, but he is... He wants to do things for good. He wants to do things the right way, but he is... I mean, the crux of the film is him being human when he's not, right? And he gets angry and he gets violent. It's also... There's colour. It feels like Zack Snyder took all the colour out of DC films. And it's like, well, Superman shouldn't look like a Batman film. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't be dark and gritty.
No, it should have serious themes and moments, as it does. Absolutely does. But it should be bright and it should be filled with hope. And also, I think it's really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
I've not watched the new Superman yet. All I've heard is good things. I don't think I've heard a bad review yet. So I should
Nicholas
watch
Hoult
it.
is brilliant as Lex.
Is he? Nicholas Hoult is great in everything. If you want a great Nicholas Hoult performance from a child actor, go watch About a Boy with him and Hugh Grant and Toni Collette. That's a great film. It's a very, very great film. But I just want to point one thing you... Fair enough. One thing you said that I wanted to point out is I think it's interesting you make the point about Clark Kent. It's because there's a way to view Superman that Clark Kent isn't... Like, Superman isn't his hidden identity or his second identity. He is Superman. Clark Kent is his fake persona, essentially.
See, so I disagree with that idea because he ultimately grew up as Clark Kent and then he becomes Superman. Like he landed on Earth. He was adopted by a family. He was raised in a little town, Smallville, and then he became a reporter. He just happens to be an alien
have
who's
superpowers.
super strong and have superpowers, and then becomes Superman. And if anything, in this film, it depicts it like that the Superman aspect of him, because he's been Superman for a while, like it's not an origin at all, because again, we all know it. But the Superman part of him is very driven by his Kryptonian self. Spoilers in this film. I won't go into more detail than that. And then
yeah, because I've not seen it, and I'll kill you.
But the whole point of it is really about him proving that he's human, and Clark is human, and he's grown up a human.
Fair enough.
Regardless of him. But Nicholas Hoult, oh my god, I don't think I've hated a villain as much. Like he felt he's a little campy. He's up there with Joffrey, honestly. Like very maniacal. He's very apt to today, I think, with how billionaires are viewed. I think.
I knew you were going to say. I was actually waiting for you to say the word tech bro.
He kind of is like a super evil tech bro, but not done in a way that makes it sound horrendous. Yeah, really, really good. Really enjoyed it. And then the last thing I've been doing, and let's just say it's to keep in with the podcast, because you guys hated that I made you watch Digimon. I have never really played a Digimon game before, and I've picked up the new Digimon game. I think if you like Pokemon, you will like it. And once again, it's a lot darker. So it's really fun. Really enjoying it. If you like a monster game like Pokemon, you'd like it.
Why?
Graphics are also better, and it's fun. But there's a part in it which absolutely is not for kids. There's basically a war going on, and one of the good guys who's meant to be strong he's a Digimon alcoholic, and I'm not talking like he drinks magic juice. He drinks alcohol, like real booze. There's a bar in like the world, but he's somewhere else anyway. He is basically an alcoholic, and in-game confirmed that he drinks too much, and then often what happens is he'll save where the people of where he is in the war, then they'll have big parties and he'll get trashed, and he just sits there drunk all the time. Anyway,
sounds like my type of guy.
He drinks so much that he passes out, or at least that's what he thinks. Actually, spoilers, someone put like a freaking spell, but he thinks it was because of his alcohol, and he passes out, and there was an invasion, and everyone's murked. You go and find him after this, and he sat around the graves of his fallen comrades. His partner, their hat is on a tree because they've died, like on a twig, hanging next to him on like a twig on a tree, and he is drinking himself gone. He's not drinking booze. He's committing suicide. He is drinking poison.
Jesus Christ.
And again, none of this is fluffed up with like different jargon. Like they're like, oh my god, he's drinking poison. They talk about his alcoholism. He is drunk a lot. Like, and it's a digital monster.
How old is this game like advertised to? Teenagers or
honestly,
kids, or young adults, or depressed people in their 20s and 30s.
I think it's for I feel like it's for all ages, but there's parts of it.
It's for all ages.
Not.
Yeah, it's for all ages. Yes, you Timmy, you 8-year-old, go play this game, and someone will commit suicide by drinking poison.
One sec, I've just tried to see what.
That sounds mental.
I don't have it. I was trying to go into our picture-in-picture because, yeah, there's also some Digimon designs that we've talked about and shown before. But there's one where I'm like, this is just a naked person. Not like, how the fuck is this in the game? So I think it's definitely for probably teenagers and up.
Fair. Not 8-year-old Timmy.
Probably not. But that I was just playing this game, and I'm not going to say I'm sitting there like it's a happy, campy game, Pokemon, but fuck me. I was like, these are some serious themes that I wasn't ready for.
Yeah, fair. Fair enough.
But what have you been watching, Chandler? You've got a long list.
I've actually managed to watch quite a bit in the past few weeks, which has been quite nice. I've gone back and watched A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks and Madonna and an actress from this film, actually, Gina Davis, where It's about women's baseball during the Second World War in America. Very, very good film. Always makes me cry. Go watch it if you haven't. I watched the Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix, which was quite good. I really enjoyed that. I thought it told his story really well. It definitely told me things about Charlie Sheen's story that I didn't know. And what I really enjoyed about it is the fact that it was only 2 parts. Yes, they were 2 hour-and-a-half long episodes. However, I think if it had been 3 1-hour episodes, also fine. Don't mind that. I've watched other documentaries where they're like 6, 7, 8 episodes long, and they're like an hour and a half each or something. And it's like you could have told this whole story in 20 minutes. It didn't drag anything out, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was really paced really, really well.
Is it produced by him in any way?
It's produced alongside him, yeah. But it's not like fluffed up in any way. There are bits where he's like tells the full, like they don't omit anything, which is quite good. The only problem with it that I said in my letterbox, I've done a letterbox for quite a few of these. If you want to go check them out, is it would have been quite nice if his dad. If you want to
check them out, please check them out.
If his dad, Martin Sheen, or his brother Emilio Estevez had commented on the documentary, but I don't. It would have been nice, but I don't think it's a must. So I still enjoyed it. But Martin Sheen is featured very heavily during his troubles with alcohol and drugs and stuff. So he is still a part of the doc in some way. I also watched The King's Man for the first time. The prequel to the Kingsman films.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that.
It's okay. It's not great, but it was all right. Like
they become quite formulaic. Those films. I feel like you.
I really enjoyed
the first one, which I really liked.
I really enjoyed the first one. I really enjoyed the second one. Like I think I enjoyed the second one more than most people. But yeah, I didn't enjoy this. Like Ray Fiennes was fine. It was fairly obvious what was going on. Like I guessed the ending pretty early on. I rewatched one of my favorite films ever just because it was on, and I was up. Grease 2 was on, and I love Grease 2.
That's no one's favorite.
It's up there. It's so good. The reason it's so good.
I think I asked Emily, who's a massive Grease fan, and her mum, and they're like, I think
this has come up,
and her mum was like, yeah, it's not worth watching.
I think this has come up on the pod before, but Grease 2 is genuinely one of the most unhinged things ever created. It's so much fun. It's amazing.
Is it good because it's bad?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, fine. As long as you admit that, because you're making it sound 100%. Like
it's so unhinged
in a different way.
No. It's so unhinged. It's brilliant. And me, as long with pretty much everyone else in the country, has been watching Celebrity Traitors, and it's great. I haven't watched the like Civilian Traitors series, just because I was like, this just seems like a stupid idea. But the Celebrity one, I was like, let's give it a go. I absolutely love it. Like after this season finishes, me and Charlotte are going to go back and rewatch the first few seasons of the Traitors.
Meant to be the best.
Yeah.
Of Civilian, as what I'm told. I've said it on the podcast before. I've only seen a few episodes of episode 1 while I was in a travel lodge outside Heathrow, going maybe to Budapest. Can't remember. Somewhere, Budapest or Berlin. 2 good holidays, and yeah, really enjoyed it. But I just don't watch enough. The only terrestrial television show I really watch is The Great British Menu.
Fair enough.
And no, I'm really enjoying it. I have to watch it on catch up. Like I wait for it all to come out, and then I'll watch it over a couple of weeks.
But I definitely think this is one you can't watch on catch up because it will just be spoiled for you. So I'm enjoying the fact we're keeping up to date with it. It is quite nice. And this morning I finished season 5 of Lucifer, which means I've only got about 10 episodes left to watch. I am enjoying it. I did enjoy the end to this season. I thought it was very clever. However, I also thought it might have been a good way to end the whole show. So I'm going to be interested to see what they do at the end of the last season. But yeah, stay with me for that. Should we get into Beetlejuice?
We're going to talk about a film?
Yeah, apparently.
Fuck. I'm not prepared.
What do I do here?
What do I do here? What do I do?
So, as it's Halloween, I decided Beetlejuice was going to be my pick, as it is probably one of the most famous, campy sort of Halloween films out there. But for those of you who haven't seen this absolute classic, here's a brief recap of the plot. After Barbara and Adam Maitland, played by Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, die in a car accident, they find themselves stuck haunting their own country residence, unable to leave the house. When the unbearable... How the hell do you pronounce their last name? Dietzes. When the unbearable Dietzes and teen daughter Lydia, who's played by Winona Ryder, buy their home, the Maitlands attempt to scare them away without success. Their efforts attract Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice is actually spelled incorrectly in this synopsis. And Beetlejuice is a rambunctious spirit whose help quickly becomes dangerous for the Maitlands and the innocent Lydia. This film has a 7.4 on IMDb, an 83% on the tomato meter, and an 82 on the popcorn meter. This is definitely not the first time I've watched the film.
Sorry, I just need to say this. I need to say this because we've added this rating in a couple of times because we got called out for using very popular sites to get the ratings for. Where I think Rotten Tomatoes is fine. But Letterboxd has this at 3.7 out of 5.
Maybe we should start using Letterboxd actually as well, considering we want people to go and view our own Letterboxds.
Yeah, I mean that's why I've brought it up a couple of times. We should use it as well, and it is the primo, public movie reviewing service now, I guess. But 17,000 ratings and it's 3.7. It's got to be a 4. It's got to be 4.
Yeah. I think the only thing I've rated a 4. I don't think the only thing I've rated a 4 out of the things I've reviewed on Letterboxd is actually that Charlie Sheen documentary so far. But anyway, that seems quite low. 3.7 out of 5. That's to be fair, that is a 7.4 out of 10 when you compare it to IMDb.
All right, maths guy. All right, still not good enough.
Yeah, fair.
7.4 actually.
I've watched this film definitely before, not in years though. And I remember watching it, I don't know, probably, as I say, probably a bit too young. But no, I definitely remember really enjoying this film when I was younger. And yeah, it was actually really, really nice to return to it. Have you seen this before?
I've seen large chunks of it. I've definitely seen a good portion of it before. I feel like it might be something either my partner's put on and I've seen. That's definitely happened. I think that happened in the last year because she went with a friend to see Beetlejuice 2. And
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Don't say it a third time.
Beetlejuice. And she definitely watched this in build-up. And then probably when it's on Channel 5 or Channel 4 or Film 4 or whatever.
We love on this podcast a Channel 5 Sunday afternoon movie.
Normally we're calling a film that's where it belongs. Exactly. This film is too good for that. But that is definitely where I've seen a piece of it. I feel like it's probably had a run where Comedy Central had the rights to put it on when I was 14. Something like that, because they always had random crap. And I went in tonight, I watched it just before we recorded, and I went in not thinking, I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. But I left pretty happy. Pretty happy. Good fun.
Well, one thing that we've both commented on, and we've put, is how this film is different to your normal ghost story. It definitely subverts the ghost story where our way into the film is through the ghosts.
Yeah.
We see them alive and we see them die. I really like that scene where they get in their car accident and straight afterwards we're not sure if they've survived or not. And you're starting to realise things aren't as they seem. When he goes, how did we get from the car back to the house? And the creepy music inside. I really enjoyed all that.
They're wet. They're soaking wet as well.
Yeah. Which comes as to a plot point later on. But just on that subverting the ghost story, apparently the idea for this movie came after the writers had watched Poltergeist. But basically flipping the idea. So instead of the ghost being the bad, the ghosts are the good people.
We've said so many times on this podcast, 100 times with a lot of the films we watch, especially with the zombie series, that who are the real monsters, Chandler? Say it. Bart Simpson. Say it.
Humans
Are the
villains. I don't know what you want me to say.
humans are the real monsters.
Humans are the real... Why is that a Bart Simpson thing?
But not Bart Simpson specifically, but the meme where they're like, say it.
Oh, I see what you
in
mean.
the classroom.
Oh,
Come on, Chandler. You've seen everything. You quote everything, and you can't remember a basic meme.
I'm sorry. I'm not plugged into the internet like you are,
You probably
actually.
watch The Simpsons when it comes out on Disney+.
No, I don't. Very quick aside. I have been rewatching old Simpsons episodes to go to sleep.
Of course
to recently,
you have.
And some of
Probably
them
that
are
one.
so good. Some of them are so good. But anyway, that's a point for another day.
I definitely went through a spell where, as I was young, I thought The Simpsons was funny because cartoon. Then I got a bit older and was like, this is not that funny. And now whenever an episode is on, I will never watch them in a row. Just pop one on.
Obviously.
And now I actually... Whereas I used to never laugh, I actually laugh, and I think it's just because I'm an adult and I'm actually okay. Some of this is pretty funny and relatable, and like a kid wouldn't get this. Anyway,
back to Beetlejuice.
Humans are the real villain. The people that people move into their family members been trying to sell the house that they're in because they don't have kids and it's a huge house, which is fine. They can
I hated that comment. That comment made me feel so wrong. The real estate agent. She was a realist. She was a typical real estate agent. She just wants to butt her nose in to what's not her business and try and sell a house for more money than it's worth. I'm like, fuck you, real estate. I hate real estate.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm calling them real estate agents. I'm a British. I hate estate agents. I hate them.
Yeah, and trying to get them to sell their house, then they die, and very quickly, guess what? She found buyers. And there's the rich deetses that move in. With the guy,
the
I forget
yuppies.
his name.
The yuppies from New York.
And with his
Charles and Delia.
His new wife and his daughter who doesn't like the new wife, obviously, and the new wife's a fucking nightmare. She's a nightmare.
You hate Catherine O'Hara.
She's a bad mum in 2 films, and I've watched those 2 films. I've seen her in more than that, but I can't recall them. But yeah, Home Alone, bad mum. Lost her kid.
Do you know what Schitt's Creek? Have you seen Schitt's Creek?
It's on the list.
I mean, she's a terrible mum in that,
vast.
kind of.
She just plays shit mums all the time. She have kids.
What, in real life? I don't actually know, to be honest. I would have thought so.
Are they estranged by any chance?
I like Lydia in this film, Winona Ryder. I think because she comes in and she's like obviously a like goth child straight away, like goth emo child, and it's never really explained why, but you sort of have to take it from the cues that like Catherine O'Hara's character isn't her real mum, like she says outright, it's her stepmother, and you can probably take it from that you know she's depressed around her own mother's passing essentially. But it's never actually said in the film. In like there's like original plot points where it's like she's depressed, like they outright say it essentially, like she's depressed because of her mum's passing, and it's something to do with like a little sister as well. There's a lot of this film was originally a lot darker, like looking at plot
points to her being depressed at points later in the film. Obviously, she writes a suicide note.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the start of it, you kind of have to put yourself in the time of the film, I think, when it was released, because now if you just have a goth character, I don't think they're inherently depressed. I think they're just a subculture. Yeah. And it's always been a subculture, but definitely, even when we were young, probably in the 2000s, and before that, before we were born, goth as a subculture was definitely weirder, ostracized people that were more likely to be depressed and dark and miserable, and then express themselves in witchy stuff and black clothing. So you kind of have to, if you think about it, it's very obvious that she'd be feeling that way in this depiction at the time. Now I'm just like, it's another goth chick. They're everywhere.
How did you find like the depiction of like the afterlife essentially?
I thought it was quite funny. I thought it was very Tim Burton. It's very fun. It's very campy. I like how I love how everyone appears how they died, except the main cast, which you said is a plot point. They're wet for a bit, and then they dry.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, as James says, that all the characters that are dead, they are shown to have how they died. Like the caseworker Juno, she has a slit in her throat, and that's obviously you're supposed to think that's how she died. The woman waiting who's been chopped in half, that's obviously how she died.
There's the guy that obviously in scuba gear that drowned. The guy that smokes had lung cancer.
The guy who hung himself.
Yeah.
The reason they don't keep Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis wet throughout the whole film, because they drowned, is because Tim Burton just went, I don't think actors are going to like being wet for an entire production, essentially.
Duh.
So that's literally like the only reason they don't appear wet throughout the movie.
Was there a plot point? I think I missed it.
I meant production point when we were talking before we recorded.
They should have had a moment in it where, I don't know, when they got to Beetlejuice, he just got a hairdryer out.
That would have been funny. Yeah.
That it would have been very in line with that character. They should have done it that way.
It's an interesting depiction of the afterlife. I thought that it's not like there's no basically they have a book of, the handbook to being dead, or recently deceased or diseased, as Alec Baldwin. I really want to know if that was ad-libbed or if that joke was in the script, because that would have been really.
Or if he mispronounced it, they didn't realise.
Yeah, exactly. I really want to know. But no, I kind of enjoy that it was different to like your normal heaven and hell, and you're stuck haunting the house because of limbo and all that type of stuff. I quite enjoyed that it just is.
Barbara does say, like, are we in between? Are we going to heaven or hell? And she says that it's kind of like, nah, this is it. And it's, if anything, it's a bit of a magic-y world. If you follow the guidebook, you can get to the other places where they went to their caseworker, Juno, and there's the waiting room. And then there was the office where they went and they forgot to take their book and they took a ticket. And I imagine there's more worlds. We saw Saturn, which definitely inspired by June with the sandworm that Beetlejuice was in, and they accidentally walked. If they leave the house, they end up in Saturn in a desert and get attacked by a sandworm. There's all these little kind of worlds, and the book mentions, I can't remember what the words they used, but quantum, trans-dimensional something situation that you're in.
I really enjoyed.
I just quite like them working it out.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the fact that Alec Baldwin's character, again, like Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis's character, Barbara and Adam, they're very much like country people. They're not like city people. And I think that's supposed to be the dichotomy between them and Catherine O'Hara and her husband's character. Country people to like city yuppie people, which I quite enjoyed. He just refers to as like, it's like a stereo instruction manual. Like it's just like it's a matter of fact. It's not like death, heaven, and hell. I quite enjoyed that.
Which is like draw a door, and he drew a door with chalk, and then it opened.
Yeah,
very simple. But there's also no rules. They seem to be able to just do anything to themselves as well.
Yeah,
they form their faces into different things. He makes himself look like a pterodactyl chicken near the end, and like cut early on when they're trying to haunt the new family, cut the head off, things like that. I don't know where they learnt that, but they can just do it, and I thought it was fun. And they kind of seem to have superpowers in a way, and they're also not supposed to make it obvious that they're haunting, but they do. I don't know why though.
I don't know how they didn't think they were being haunted before, because of like when Gina Davis's fakes hanging herself and being a skeleton, they just push it aside as if it's a costume. I don't know how that sort of those bits are supposed to work, if they could see that bit or not.
I don't think they could see her, but I imagine they could see something there and they think it's a prank or something. And they're also, the whole point of that is the
rubbish or haunting.
Well, no, but the what's the Dietz woman called? Not Lydia.
Delia.
Delia Dietz is just so focused on hating the house's decor, and with her interior designer, who's quite funny, Ortho, going around the house choosing what pardon me, to paint the rooms. They don't care about anything else.
He plays that guy, that actor. I can't remember his standby.
But also, their caseworker says they can't see you. Why did you haunt like that?
Yeah.
Like, go back to basics. Throw a chair.
Throw a chair. It is a lot of funny lines, to be fair. Oh my god, where is it? Stand by. Yeah, Ortho, played by Glenn Shardix. Sure, let's go with Shardix. He plays a very, very similar character in Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock. Which, yeah, if you haven't seen that, that's also a very good film about like a dystopian future. It's a good film. But I love their distaste for the house. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine, but then I found I didn't mind the decor. It just looked like an old, nice, big house. But then I found out that their family member, the real estate agent, designed it, and then I was like, yeah, I hate it too. I hate it too now.
That's good. That I enjoy that. I just going back to the caseworker and the like death waiting room. That death waiting room scene is iconic with them like seeing all the other people, how other people died. But did you see? Something that Ortho says later on in the film is like shown to you here. So Ortho says later on in the film at the dinner party, he says, you know what they say about people who commit suicide in the afterlife, they become civil servants. So that's why the girl at the desk, she says she has her accident and Juno's slit throat and the guy who hung himself. So it's really clever little details in that, which I think add more life to the afterlife.
One thing Tim Burton.
I'm saying here now for anyone listening to this podcast, don't kill yourselves.
Yeah, always look for help.
Seek help. Yeah.
Seek help. There are numbers. We all go through tough times.
I can't believe I just said that on our podcast.
I think you have to. Don't think you're just going to go and get a desk job. If you do it, it's not going to work that way. There's plenty of desk jobs in real life that you can be miserable at, not one in eternity. Think about that. God, absolutely not. Anyway, Chandler. Fucking hell. The 3 takes of therapy.
2 takes of therapy.
2 takes of therapy. We need to start that for Alex. Can you tell me any of the facts or instructions from the book?
Draw a door.
Yeah, the draw a door works. And what? Oh yeah, there's another part to it. In case of emergency, draw a door and
knock 3 times.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head.
There's what I said earlier about the paranormal bit, but it's like the bit that it's very much like an instruction manual. The full quote is, functional parameters vary from manifestation to manifestation. Put more simply, outside of the book, all deaths are personal and limitations between ghosts are based on how a person lived and died.
Nice.
That's
Strong.
my instructional book voice. If you'd like me to read one to you, I will do it for a fee. There's an intermediate interface chapter on haunting, which is apparently easy to understand. You can summon a sandworm from Titan if you draw a rectangle and knock 3 times, which similar to the door. I guess
everything's
if you don't
in
put
threes.
The handle on it, if you don't put the handle on it, I guess it counts as that. Code 699 is a law forbidding a deceased person from bringing a living person into the netherworld. A violation has 5 potential penalties. The offender will be confined to the afterlife and cannot go to the world of living for a long and unspecified time. And the offender will receive 100 additional years to his or her afterlife. Ironic. It's forever. The offender will take part in compulsory clerical work. Any marriage contracts the offender enters are null and void. And any offender who executes a soul swap will be sent to the fires of damnation. So hell kind of does exist. But you've got to go here first and fuck up.
Fair. I
would love a full fleshed out guide. Did you ever watch Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide?
Yes. I love that show.
I want that, but this book.
You know they have a podcast now. because everyone has a
lot of
podcast.
controversy. It's got a lot of controversy. Yeah, because they just started talking about how they were all shagging at 15.
Nice.
And then I think one of them's had a bit of a racist scandal.
Fair. I just before we move on, I really enjoy the plot of the film. I think the plot of the film moves it on very quickly. I think the pacing of the film is done very well. I think the whole story is done really well, and just the interaction between all the characters. I think the plot of the film is done really well.
I think the film is split up into 2 sections, and that is BB and AB.
What, before Beetlejuice and after Beetlejuice?
Before Beetlejuice and Anno Beetlejuice CI. Because it does feel very split in half. I really enjoyed I think you're right about the pacing. I don't think it went fast. I think it's nicely done because I really enjoyed the start of the movie for the first 45 minutes, half an hour, where they're just kind of working out how things are going and they're trying to decide if they want help, and then they end up in the netherworld. Then Beetlejuice comes in because they're like, don't get him in, don't get him to help you, but they do, and then that becomes a problem in itself. And then towards the end, where they're wrapping up and they kind of become friends with the people they're haunting, which is bizarre. But yeah, it feels very split, but I do think it flows nicely. There wasn't really any dead time.
No, definitely
because you're learning something new all the time. There's a lot of challenges they have to constantly overcome because they're in a new situation. And that's once they've kind of got a rough idea of what they can and can't do in their situation, then Beetlejuice comes in. And then he's causing chaos.
I also like it's so iconic. It doesn't really need to even be said, but how good Michael Keaton is as Beetlejuice.
I didn't know it was Michael Keaton.
That's mental. That's genuinely mental.
My partner told me, and I was like, no way. I sometimes have said before that I think crazy roles like this, and sometimes like people always say like the Joker, like amazing performances, really hard to play. I sometimes think the more eccentric characters where you can go all out, maybe for an actor, are slightly easier to play than, say, having to play a convincing real life person.
Because you can like overact, like play up to the character.
Yeah, I think that exactly. But I think Michael Keaton's characterization of Beetlejuice is amazing. Not just from delivery, but his motion. For me, the way he moves and he snaps in and around and he kind of breaks the fourth wall in ways, I think is so good, and how it's edited, I imagine, moves into this as well. But there's a lot of snappy, fast movements of Beetlejuice turning around and talking to someone else, maybe going towards the camera, etc., and then going back to this, especially the wedding scene, especially he's back and forth. And then the camera work and the editing to match it makes him feel so erratic, so fast-paced, and I think it helps accentuate Michael Keaton's performance, which is just brilliant. And also, makeup, design, incredible. Couldn't tell who it was. Looks nothing like Michael Keaton. Could be any Tom, Dick and Harry.
Just talking on the makeup and the design, so a lot of those were Michael Keaton's ideas. So when he accepted to play the role, Tim Burton basically told him, I think the line was like, he's lived in every time period, but he's not from a time period. And he sort of took that and made the characterization along with the makeup and the costume department of like his crazy, like spiked hair of like, he's just been electrocuted. I think that sort of energy of the, like, he looks like he's just been electrocuted, and Michael Keaton plays him like he's just full of so much energy. Yeah. And he's just constantly bouncing around the walls. Most of his lines are actually ad-libbed. Like, a lot of it is complete, like, just thought of by Michael Keaton. I think not only is his performance great, his performance is so magnetic that you forget he's only in the film for about 17 minutes. Like, on screen. Instead of in an hour and a half movie. And he's the title character. But he's the thing you remember all the way through the film. Like, Alec Baldwin's great in this film. Gina Davis is great in this film. Winona Ryder's great in this film. But Michael Keaton, but they're on screen the whole film. Michael Keaton's on screen for under 20 minutes of the film, and that's all you ever remember.
And he's the title card. He's the title of the movie, and the film isn't really about him.
No, it's
not even really about him, but he's the whirlwind.
Yeah. One thing I completely forgot about this film, is that Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice are spelt differently. The film and the character are spelt differently.
Oh yeah, it's Beetle just like
Goose.
German.
Yeah, it's weird. I forgot about that.
He's like Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetle.
It was
because Alec Baldwin can't say it when they're initially trying to hire him.
It's really good. He's so good.
Yeah, he's like, what's his job again?
Bioexorcist.
And he used to be Juno, their caseworker's assistant, but she had to get rid of him because he was too wild.
I thought that was funny. I thought that was good world building as well.
I think the world building in it is excellent. I'm glad you brought it up. I think there's enough to leave you wanting more. Absolutely. But those little tidbits about, I didn't even realise the comment from the interior designer about when people unalive themselves and then how they end up in desk jobs in the afterlife. I didn't even realise that, but then you've mentioned it. I'm like, wow, okay, I did wonder why she held up her wrists and stuff. But really, really clever. The attention to detail is really, really good. And it's not one. We've had a lot of deliberations about having this as a horror series or a Halloween series. I said maybe we do both as two separate ones. Chandler's like, they're kind of the same thing. And I'm like, no, Halloween films are for Halloween. All horror films are Halloween, but not all Halloween films are horror. And this falls into that category, I think. Also because me and Alex are wusses and don't really want to watch horror, and it will take a lot for us to do it, and we'll probably have to record it over 6 months.
It was so annoying. I said, but maybe Nightmare on Elm Street, and Alex was like, no, Homes Under the Hammer. Fuck you, Alex.
I want to watch some of the Jordan Peele films, like Nope, but I am scared. I watched Insidious in the cinema with my friends when I was a teenager, and I was shitting myself.
I think what makes this a great Halloween film is that it is directed by, let's be honest, the king of sort of
macabre.
Halloween. Macabre, yeah, that's the perfect
king of
word.
macabre.
Like Tim Burton, and I think this film is Tim Burton probably at the peak of his powers. This is arguably the most Tim Burton film a Tim Burton film could ever be.
Before Christmas as well, right?
Yeah.
And Sweeney Todd,
Coraline, Sweeney Todd.
He's so good at building a world and the attention to detail and interesting characters, and there are all these spooky subjects, and I think what he brings to them is such a playfulness to the darkness. We said campy, and if you haven't realised by now, we love a campy film at the Three Takes Stupidity. It's just he's a master of his craft, and this film, yeah, I think you're right. Peak of his powers. It's very good, very, very good. If it only won the Oscar for makeup, I think it deserves more. To be honest,
yeah, he does. I think that this is a very Tim Burton movie. Like the effects, I think are very Tim Burton-esque because there's a lot of model work in the film, like the house,
on that.
Like the house going from like a big thing into going straight into being his model village. I thought that was a great shot and a great use of model work. All the effects, I say campy. The effects are on purpose. I think some of the practical effects are actually really good for a film that came out 40 years ago. Some of the CGI is shit, but it's a film that came out 40 years ago. I think they work
around it really well. They do a lot of transparent shots, and they manage them really well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But the funny thing is, when I was researching this film, is the budget for the whole effects budget was 1/15 of the movie, about $1 million. And the film budget was about $15 million, apparently. But basically, when he was given that budget, he was like, right, I'm going to make the effects as campy and B-movie-esque as possible. Which I think
But they don't take you out of it.
No, I completely agree. I actually think it helps, A, make the effects look pretty good, and B, builds the world of the film. I think it suited really well to the film. The only thing that sort of takes me out of the film is the CGI. Is only the CGI, just because it's really bad compared to even really bad CGI now.
there really is CGI. The only bit for me that I found tough was the green screen Titan.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
That's the only bit. There's a couple of bits that you see Alec Baldwin go to grab a door handle and they make him transparent. And that's clearly been done with 2 different frames.
Yeah.
On top, not done like with a green screen. Well, no, it probably is done with a green screen, but
we know what you mean.
He's not masked. They're not masking him like you could do now. You could mask him and you could make him individually transparent. You could do some other editing wizardry and stuff and things and do it that way. But they cut away quickly. There's only one moment of that where he's when they've summoned them at the end because they've tried to leave because they're annoyed. They want their house back, but they can't have it. And they start kind of dying in death.
Yeah.
And aging, turning into their corpses, almost reanimated in a way. There's one moment where that transition, it works really well on Barbara, Gina Davis, but there's a moment where Alec Baldwin, Adam, turns, and you can tell that he's also turned. He's turned when he's not got the makeup on. He's turned when he does have the makeup on.
Yeah.
And they've tried to fit those together, and for a split second you can see them properly overlaid onto each other, really off.
Yeah. I picked up on that as well.
Absolutely forgave. One thing that amazed me was that, let's be real, none of us really watch the credits ever. But I was turning off my stream and I caught the credits and the snake scene of Beetlejuice where he turns into a giant snake and his head is like on it and it's kind of creepy and it's played as to haunt and scare the Deetses. And the sandworms scenes from Titan, from Saturn's moon, and from the end where Barbara comes in riding a sandworm that she's tamed. Again, it's got to have been inspired by Dune. Those were done by individual people. All of that stop motion work, claymation work, was done by individual people. Ted Ray did the snake scene, and Doug Beswick did the sandworm scene. And if you look in the list of crew, and you look at the effects department, the visual effects and the special effects, mostly the visual effects. The visual effects department, there was a lot of people doing individual roles as one person, like uncredited model makers, uncredited miniature workers, stop motion camera workers. Some of them just singular people working on their own in those roles. Really, really impeccable, and I love the stylized look. I think all of it really works. They couldn't have done something exceptional looking and then done this though. It had to be consistent design language throughout the movie, and it was.
And I think that consistent design language comes from Tim Burton, because you watch his other films. You watch Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas. You can see an image of him in Michael Keaton when he has the merry-go-round from him. It's because Tim Burton's stylized design is so unique that you can see the through line all the way through his entire films, from this to Frankenweenie to Corpse Bride to anything else. It's the same style. So all those people, they did great work making all the miniatures, making all the models, but you can see that it's all stylized from Tim Burton's head. He's a great artist.
Yeah, he is a great artist. This is the best live-action cartoon you've ever seen.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a cartoon. Get Tim Burton to do a Scooby-Doo trilogy.
That would be incredible. I want that.
It would be amazing. Like, this is a cartoon in live action, and there was a Beetlejuice cartoon as well that I accidentally nearly started when I was turning this film on. And I was like, that's not right.
There are 2 other things I wanted to say about Tim Burton that I think are very Tim Burton-esque, and one is music. So I think the score for this film is great. I think it lends to the other thing of like the creepiness. I think the music at the start of the film, straight away, even as Barbara and Adam are alive, I think the music just sets you in for there's something not quite right about this film, and it's just such a creepy tone all the way from the start, and I think that again is just very Tim Burton-esque.
Also, while they're alive, everything seems quite bright and perfect.
Too good to be true.
Yeah, and then they just die. I turned to my partner, did they just die? And she was like, yeah. It's like, what? And
I also
it was silly. This
it
whole
was
film
silly.
was silly in a non-insulting way, like in the best way.
I also love how this film started with a couple who have taken holidays from work just to stay at home. And I literally wrote down in my notes,
I've done that before.
That sounds amazing right now.
Yeah, I've done that. And with that, it's your favourite time because you know the podcast is ending.
That caught me off guard. That caught me off guard.
I don't think you're going to laugh or have like a tear come to your eye. No, please make the takes your saddest part of the pod because you don't want it to end. That's what we really want. But it is takes time, and I'll start since this is your pick, Chandler. And yeah, I really liked it. I think I've been very clear that I really enjoyed it. I love the aspects of it. Very simply subverting the ghost story by using the ghost as the protagonist, as the eyes of the movie. The perspective, as it were, just really nice. That's not a wild concept, but had anyone really done it? No, and would they have done it as well? Probably not. Tim Burton and ghosts. Who'd have thought that's a good mixture? We all know. Really, really good. Holds up absolutely. I think Chandler's point about the effects being kind of B-movie effect style, it leans into its longevity. I think it absolutely holds up because it seems stylized, and this is a thing that's come up in video games conversations for a long time. I think it comes up in TV and film many times, is that stylized things stand the test of time because they're not going for hyper-realism in any way. And this film is not doing that. The costume design, the makeup, the set design is excellently done. But then, not just that, but this film has to be playful. It has to be electrifying. It has to move at 100 miles an hour. It's a cartoon. The camera work and the editing, plus with how the practical effects, which this film is basically all practical effects for the most part, had to have been a nightmare to film and edit. But they work so well. Everything moves so quickly. It's so fluid. And yeah, you have a lot of fun. You really like the characters. I really cared for the characters. I like how they realised very quickly they were dead. And then they were like, well, kind of got nothing to worry about. And they just wanted to... Basically, they wanted to have an extended holiday in their house. They just happened to be dead and not have anyone move in. And what they end up doing in the end is having a found family, in a way. Once they get rid of Beetlejuice, they learn to live with... They learn to live with the Dietzes. Lydia, Winona Ryder, kind of gets another set of parents because she's a sad, depressed, gothy kid. And at the end, she looks like she's gone to a new school and she's made friends and she's enjoying it. Because the whole point of her throughout the film, they were saying, oh, you were miserable in New York, you're miserable here, so nothing changes. It's like, well, you don't really know what's happened to her mum. Yeah, really, really nice film. And Charlie, you might disagree with me, but I'd say it is a PG. It is a family film. I think some kids could definitely be scared by it, even though it's not scary. But it's so much fun. And it just grabs your attention so well. Yeah, really wonderful watch. And should have higher ratings on most of the rating services that we look at. Absolutely disgraceful. Thought it was brilliant.
I don't disagree. I'm just going to say I couldn't agree more with the effects, firstly, before that goes out of my head. I think you're right. I think stylized effects last the test of time longer than hyperrealism, because with hyperrealism, you're always going to be let down by the technology of the day. So if they had gone for ultra realism here, us looking back on it 40 years later, it just would have looked shit and would have taken us out of the movie, and we wouldn't have been able to.
Uncanny Valley as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And we wouldn't have been able to enjoy the film for the story that it's telling. So yeah, I definitely think the B-movie-esque, stylized Tim Burton's an absolutely fantastic artist way of going was amazing. It just really was. It was really, really good to look at. I also agree that I think this is a family film. I think kids can enjoy it. I think this is a family film in the sense of like Doctor Who is family viewing, because Doctor Who on occasion can be really scary, but it is still family viewing. It is okay for kids to get scared in a playful way, like Doctor Who, and ultimately like this. I remember enjoying it as a kid, and I'm really, really glad that I chose to come back and do this for this trilogy, because I really enjoyed it again. I think I didn't really have any sort of interest in watching Beetlejuice, the new one that came out, I think around this time last year. However, I think revisiting this has made me want to go back and watch the sequel, Beetlejuice. So I might try and give that a watch before our next record, if I have time.
It's not horrendously rated either, and it has returning Michael Keaton, returning Winona Ryder, has the new like star of Creep in Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
You know exactly what she plays. Yeah, I think it's probably not as good, but worth a watch still.
Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. This film could have been a lot darker. As I said before, there was original plot points that made it a lot darker. However, I think the film, in its playful manner, is a great viewing and a really, really good watch. And I think what elevates this as well is the acting. Not just from Michael Keaton, as I said before. Michael Keaton is magnetic in this role. But I think all across the board, Jeffrey Jones, who plays Charles, Catherine O'Hara, Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis all play this to perfection. Even like there's a cameo from Dick Cavett as Catherine O'Hara's agent, which I thought was hilarious, and the way he just tells her that she's a shit sculptor when they can't produce the ghost, I thought was so funny. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, there is no reason not to watch this film if you haven't.
And why is Jeffrey Jones not back in the sequel, Chandler?
Jeffrey Jones is not back in the sequel because he is actually a nonce. He has gone to prison. He has actually gone to prison for being a nonce. And if you do recognise Jeffrey Jones, he's also the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That's a horrendous thought.
You have been listening to the 3 Takes of Stupidity. That's all from us today. I hope you enjoyed my contribution of a grand total of about 120 seconds. It's a goodbye from Chandler. I'll do it for him because he's probably lazy. It's a goodbye from James because, again, I'll do it for him because he's probably high on drugs or something. And it's goodbye from me. Have fun. Hopefully I'll speak with you all again next week. Maybe. When we cover something. Yes. Halloween.
Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast on your platform of choice. It really helps us grow. Make sure to follow us on our socials and our individual Letterboxd accounts. The links can be found in the description or at www.hopwith2ps.bio/3takes or search for 3 Takes of Stupidity on most platforms. We're most active on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube. Please send us your film and trilogy suggestions to our Hop page on social media, or you can email us at 3takesofstupidity@gmail.com. Thank you and hope to have you back.